Hey guys, so last night I actually checked out episode 1 of the anime for Black Clover, and basically this video is my review of episode 1. Now, um, a lot of what people have been saying about Black Clover did end up being true for me after seeing episode 1. Now, immediately, yes, I do understand the people thinking that this is a ripoff of Naruto or Fairy Tail, but I would go more so that it was inspired by Fairy Tail a bit more than Naruto, seeing as everybody's main source of power is magic, and that was obviously inspired by Hiro Mashima's Fairy Tail. But now on to the actual review of the episode. So it starts off with with the two sort of protagonist heroes of the show, Ino and Asta, basically having to fight this this other member, this other villain that seems to be having a hard time dealing with. And then Asta comes in and says, hey, you don't mess with because he's my rival. And then we come to present day where Asta's walking up and people start to say, what was with all the ruggeds in the royal city? Now, before all this occurs, we sort of get this explanation that many years ago, the place where Black Clover seems to be set in, many years ago, it almost succumbed to the demon realm, and this one brave warrior managed to defeat all of the demons using a very powerful form of magic. Thus, this is where the Naruto reference comes in, due to this magic emperor, as he's called, basically being the hero of the village, and basically Asta wanting to try and beat him. Now, let's get on to Asta as a character. Now, he will kind of remind you guys, if you have seen Black Clover yet, Asta will kind of remind you of, I guess you could say, Lee from Naruto, because from what we see in episode 1, Asta is sort of the laughing stock of the church that he and seem to be representing, because he's the only one out of everybody that can seem to grasp the ability to conduct magic spells, much how Lee couldn't use any type of jutsu except for Tai. Now, as for I would describe him as not so much the Sasuke of Black Clover, but more so the Neji, because seems to be the gifted one out of the church and the favorite to be the next magic emperor. Now, what's interesting about Asta and Eno's relationship is that they were actually abandoned at birth and dropped off to the church that they represent on the same day. So they basically grew up with that same kind of rivalry that Naruto and Sasuke had, or Gray and Natsu had, and their promise to each other was, let's see who can become Magic Emperor first. But it seems over time, Eno has sort of become the prodigy of the church, and one of the favorites to become a magical knight, as that is what people that are able to fight for the Magic Emperor are called. And Asta, like I said, has sort of become the of the town. Now we come to the first villain of this episode, and it turns out to be a former magic knight of the royal city, that has basically turned into a thug and a thief. And was supposed to have gotten the most powerful magic spell book, and I'm just going to call it a magic spell book because I can't pronounce the actual name of their spell casting book. But Inu got one with the 4-week clover, and according to the lore of Black Clover that we've been introduced to so far, apparently whoever possesses the 4-week clover is the one who has been chosen by the book to possibly become the next Emperor of Magic. And it seems that everyone's magical ability is supposed to run on 3 principles: hope, faith, and I forget the last one, but hope, faith, and love, excuse me. So those are the 3 principles that their magic is supposed to be based on. However, the former magical knight ends up basically confining in these magical chains rather, that sort of block all of his magic. And Asta ends up coming to the rescue, and Asta, much like Naruto, or Goku in this case even, Asta pretty much gets the crap beat out of him until this one magic book comes out of the powers where everybody else has gotten their books, and instead of a regular clover, Astas gets a black clover. That indicates that he has a demon inside of him, much like Naruto with the 9-tailed fox. But once Asta attains his book, he's able to make quick work of the former member of the Magic Knights. So yeah, guys, overall a pretty good first episode, and I'll definitely keep tuning in.